Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning and thanks for the opportunity. We really appreciate the opportunity to be here at the Ditshego House of Laughter as we mark another milestone on our social investment program as the Gautrain Management Agency in support of various programs within the province of Gauteng in alignment with our responsibility to respond to the needs of communities that live side by side with the system, but also are part of the broader Gauteng community. My name is Albi Modise. I'm from the Gautrain Management Agency. I will be directing the program this morning. Our session this morning. Let me, without much further ado, invite the Managing Director, Alida Boshoff, of the Ditshego House of Laughter. Me Boshoff, re kopa o tlo re amogela fa re goroga mo motseng wa lona. Thank you.
Good morning to everybody here. I just want to do a warm welcome to everybody here, especially the people from Gautrain, the management of Gautrain that's here. And also, we will later say thank you for everything that you see here. I would like to call on Nikki quickly to tell you, it's going to be 1 minute. She's going to read to you something that she reminded me about. Nikki is our vice chairperson of the board of Ditshego, and she's got something on her phone that actually happened in 2021. So, Nikki, please, quickly, and then I want to welcome everybody.
Morning, everybody. I was actually just reminded this morning as I went back on my Facebook posts to the 1st of September 2021, where we celebrated Spring Day. This land was just a lot of rocks. Nothing had been done with it. And I'm going to read you the post that we posted on that day. Today we celebrated Spring Day by praying over our land for good crops and rains ahead of the planting of our permaculture garden. We prayed that God will grow the seeds that we plant and produce a successful harvest as He continues to grow the seeds of love and acceptance planted in the hearts of all our children in the Mooiplaas community. So I just wanted to share that with you and to give God the glory for this, because it's not a coincidence that this is happening 3 years later. The little children all at the back there actually wrote prayers that we buried in the land. And this is what has come for it. So to God be the glory. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Nikki. And I want to say, again, good morning to everybody. Starting from the management, good morning and welcome here. To all the staff and people from Gauteng that's here, thank you for being here. Our own volunteers, that's part and parcel of this project, they're here to celebrate today with us. Ditshego House is part and parcel of the community of Mooiplaas. So this is actually an extension of our work in Mooiplaas. The reason why we developed land here and not in Mooiplaas is because there's no infrastructure in Mooiplaas. It is a community without water, without electricity, without sewage. Our own school, where we house about 100 children per day in the mornings and afternoons, and then about 147 children for aftercare. We have water tanks and toilets, mobile toilets that we're using. And it's sometimes, I can tell you sometimes it's not always the easiest thing to work there. But we have this dedicated staff and volunteers that comes in and work, and this is how we could develop this whole space. Unfortunately, we didn't have a photo now here, but we have a photo of how this whole place was planted. We had to clean a lot of this at the moment to put the 2 tunnels up. So we have 3 phases in which we are going to replant by the end of October. So phase 1 is the first tunnel, which I am so glad that we're going to plant in there today. The second phase is outside to plant right around and the trees. And then the third phase would be this tunnel. And we hope to be completed by end of November with all the planting and everything to make sure that we can harvest in the beginning of next year. We feed about 350 children per day. So we need this. And we want to say to the Gautrain, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, thank you so much for the message and the welcome, Alida. So the reason why we're here today, ladies and gentlemen, is October for the transport community's Transport Month. But also it's an opportunity that we thought we would use as we celebrate the milestones we've recorded as a country, the opportunities that we've made available as a sector in terms of making sure we move the economy, that for those who are not privileged enough to be part of that movement, we needed to find a way of intervening to assist and to ensure that we are here through our social investment program. So the CEO today is here to lead us with a message from the Gautrain Management Agency on this particular day when South Africa and the world also observe World Food Day, but also as South Africa also marks the month of October as Social Development Month as well. So those 3 days or those 3 key areas of our celebration or even our recognition are at the heart of why we're here today. The challenge is that when you start doing message of why we're here today, you end up dipping into the speech of the CEO. And I'm still to do my assessment very soon. So I don't want the assessment to include my overreach. The Chief Executive Officer of the Gautrain Management Agency, Ntate Ditshego House, will deliver the keynote address.
Thank you to all the board members, Batubale Loko who are here, and the family and the community at large, and our people from our office that have always supported our efforts in everything that we do. I've said to the team when they said to me, well, you're the CEO now, so you can't do that, you can't do this, and you can't do that. Because now they don't work for me, I work for them. So they tell me what to do. And I said to me, there are things you cannot take away from me. You cannot take away these activities. You cannot take away my ability to be able to make time to do what I need to do here. And I want to remind you why. There's an incredible piece of writing. If you call it a poem, then it is what it is. But Archie Prince once wrote, God said no. I asked God to take away my habit. He said no. It is not for me to take away, but for you to give it up. I asked God to make my handicapped child whole. He said no. His spirit is whole and his body is temporary. I asked God to grant me patience. He said no. Patience is a byproduct of your tribulations. It is granted, it is lent. It isn't granted, it is lent. I asked God to give me happiness, and he said, no, I'll give you blessings. Happiness is up to you. I asked God to spare me pain. He said, no, suffering draws you apart from your worldly cares and brings you closer to me. I asked God to make my spirit grow, and he said, no, you must grow your own, but I will prune you to make you fruitful. I asked God for all things that I might enjoy life. He said, no, I will give you life so that you may enjoy all things. I asked God to help me love others as much as he loves me. God said, finally you have the idea. That becomes important because when you think about it, it is important that we miss the point of what human existence is. Human existence is about you making your life be worthwhile for other people. It is about you making sure that there is a purpose for why you are here. Each one of us are a letter to the world. You are a message that has been sent here to be able to make the world better. But what ends up happening, most of us, we veer off the purpose of what you were intended to be. You are here to be able to make sure that the world can be a better place because you exist. You are here because it is a greater being and a greater sense of fulfillment for you to be able to achieve what God had intended for you to be. But in a great sense of it, it would be amiss of us to be able to achieve all great things but never benefit the world. It would be amiss for us to be able to have a lot. Somebody said, when you make it, do not build bigger walls. Build a longer table. And this is about us building the longer table. It is about us being able to say, how do we actually make sure that because we are able to achieve as much as we achieve as an organization, then we can actually be able to give. It is about us being able to recognize that it is not just about us giving, but it is about us giving of our skills, our capability, and our know-how to be able to make the world a better place. It is about us making sure that we can give not only of money, of things and of infrastructure like this, but it is for us to be able to give of our spirit. Somebody once wrote, I am a spiritual being having a human experience. And when you're a spiritual being and you're having a human experience, what ends up happening is that you recognize your higher purpose. You recognize that you're connected to all things around the world and you're connected to the universe itself. But not only are you connected, you are the universe. You are what the universe is made of, and therefore it would be amiss for you to be detached from it. Post 2020, we have what's called social erosion. And social erosion is about where people are detached. And in psychology, they call it disassociation. It's where people are so detached from the world that they live in that they actually do not have the ability to associate with it. They have no ability to associate with the suffering that is out there in the world. And therefore, we as the Gautrain Management Agency are saying, we are aware of the challenges that exist in the world. As we try by all means to make sure that during this October Transport Month, we can be able to give. Mobility is not just about moving people and goods. Mobility is about benefiting humanity. Mobility is about us making sure that as we talk about transforming spaces, people, and the economy through mobility, we can actually make it a reality. And a reality in the sense that it is not just about us and thinking about how do we actually always, give in products. Give people the ability to actually make their own lives better. And this infrastructure is about us being able to do exactly that. It is about us making sure that we can then give infrastructure that enables the community of Mooiplaas to actually look after itself. It is about us elevating ourselves beyond the point where we think about food security, modern methods of farming, and the ability for us to be able to say, how do we edge the world forward? How do you move the needle? Because it's not just about showing up every year here at Ditshego and just giving food, giving parcels and all of that. That world is gone. Post 2020 and us going through the pandemic, there is one thing that the world is asking for us, is can we do it better? We've tried it the old way until the pandemic came. And now the question we're asking is there a different way in which we can actually benefit communities and actually still achieve our purpose in life? And as we look forward to issues that had been raised by the president himself, there are 3 items that the president stuck on. He raised the issue of inclusive growth and job creation. He raised the issue of reducing poverty and tackling the high cost of living. And he raised the issue of building a capable and ethical state. The 3 things are intertwined in each other. You cannot separate them out. as a capable and ethical state, we have to make sure that we actually provide communities within which we function with infrastructure that looks like this. But for us to be able to tackle and reduce the poverty and high cost of living, it is about empowering the communities to actually do it for themselves rather than doing it for them. And infrastructure like this enables us to then say, could we actually be able to plant food and other crops around here that then reduces the cost of managing and running a service and a center like Ditshego. But ultimately, can we create inclusive growth? Because beyond anything else, the long-term thinking should actually be able to say, how do we actually bring other partners on board that can bring more tunnels, that the Ditshego can produce more food than they actually need, so that it can then be given or sold to, what do they call it, to neighboring communities. And that is a much more powerful message, rather than us just simply giving for the sake of giving. It is about us thinking about, in the Social Development Month, what can we do and what can we give? What can we actually be able to do to be able to do better? And it is about us saying, when on World Food Day, how do you create food security? And food security is not about how do we continuously give. It is about how do we get communities to actually do it for themselves rather than anything else. As I conclude, hopefully I have stuck to the script I was given originally. Okay, they're saying I didn't stick to the script I was given originally. We as the Gautrain Management Agency and our social investment program, we are ensuring that we can fight hunger and ensure food security as a whole. We will plant trees, not only in a symbolic nature, but in the sense that we want to see what we will in the future years that will bear fruits, and those fruits would always be the fruits that we will look at and we say, we one day when we were leaders in what they call it in the community, we did something that mattered. And to that end, we have also given an irrigation system that then enables the entire place to be irrigated in such a way we don't have to worry about water issues. But it also enables us to save water and ensure that we, as we look after the environment, we can make sure that water is also as a big scarcity in the world. That will enable us in a whole to make a better place of the world. It is to that end and to that end alone that as where I look at life and I look at our contribution as people as a whole, is that we as the management agency, we will continue to support this place, and we will continue to support it in such a way that we actually benefit the greater community around here. We believe in the work that Ditshego is doing in the community here, and forever we will be part of this. With those few words, I thank you.
Thank you so much, CEO. I need to also acknowledge and welcome the house servers that are part of the program today. Part of the program that will include, as the CEO has said, the tree planting activities and vegetables as well. And as the Greek proverb reminds us, a society that grows, it grows great when old men, I want to add, and women, plant trees in whose shade they know that they shall never sit. It's about investing in a future that could potentially not include us, right? It's about being selfless. It's about realizing that the world has seen people come and go, and there's been men and women that came before us that invested in this world to make sure that today we stand here as South Africa turns 30 as a democratic state, as the world today observes World Food Day, and as we as South Africa also observes the month of October as Social Development Month, but also as a transport sector celebrating Transport Month as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask that we then invite from Ditshego the message of gratitude. I'm sure there is a nominated representative who will deliver the message of gratitude. Thereafter, we'll go for tree planting and vegetable planting as we mark this particular day, but also hand over to Ditshego, the irrigation system. There's tree planting activities, but also these beautiful green tunnels as well.
Morning. I'm too tall. I think most people know me. My name is Salamina Leopeng. I'm the fundraising manager here at the Ditshego House of Laughter. Before I say my piece, because I can talk for 3 days non-stop, I'm gonna ask firstly Everall to come in and then just say a few words, and then I'll take from here.
Ladies and gentlemen, friends, colleagues, and most importantly, folk from the Gautrain Management Agency, God's providence is just more amazing and more abundant than anything our imaginations can even come up with. I'm Avril. I'm the treasurer of Ditshego, and I'm speaking to you on behalf of the board. And I'm going to give Salamina my phone because, much like yourself, the script that I have there is probably just not going to cut it. I'm going to just speak from the heart. Thank you. I just want to say directly to the Gautrain Management Agency, to yourself, sir, and to all your folk who are here today and those who are not here who have had a hand in this, our heartfelt thanks and our gratitude for all that you have done and all that you have given us. This gift is tremendous, as you can see around you. There is much to be seen, but what is not seen is the impact that it is going to have on this community, both in the sense of the job creation that is obvious, but also in the food security that it is going to provide, in the difference that it is going to make, not only in the lives of the people who are directly affected and here on the property at the Ditshego's projects, but the community at large. You can do anything you like with folks. You can do education, you can do all kinds of things, but if tummies are hungry, you can really not achieve an awful lot. So for that gift alone, I cannot thank you enough on behalf of the Ditshego board and all who have anything to do with Ditshego. We could never do this without tremendous gifts like we have received from yourselves. Thank you for the belief that you have just expressed in the work that Ditshego does. Thank you for the confidence that you have in us. We will aim to be the best stewards that we possibly can and continue to be the best stewards that we possibly can of gifts such as yourselves. Thank you very much for the people who work here. Some of my colleagues are sitting here, people who will work this project. Thank you for all that you guys do to make these gifts count and to make these gifts into what they are. And to the management team here at Ditshego as well, everybody who plays a part. Our gratitude and our gratefulness goes a very long way, but we just want to say, I'm actually a little bit emotional when I see what's done here. Nikki, you're shaking your head, and I'm thinking very much as well. When I look at this land now, I know we're short of time, I can't go into it, but when I look at the land now and I remember when we bought it, we could never have pictured that today we'd be sitting here with a project such as this. So Gautrain, thank you very, very much. We really do appreciate what you guys are doing for us.
Okay. Once again, thank you so much, everybody, for coming. Our stakeholders, thank you so much. Gautrain Management Agency, the rest of the team, staff members, management who's here, our guests, Memata, the principal from Lysonia. She's one of our most frequent stakeholders. Thank you so much, Mayor, for coming. And most importantly, thank you so much to the board of Ditshego for pulling through in this weather. I'm going to try to be short. I know I'm not going to be short, but I'm going to try to be short. I just want to say firstly that what's happening here, it's a dream, guys, for Ditshego. And now, like for years, now we are seeing this dream come true because we sit monthly and then we say, where are we going to get funding to do this? And then one time last year we said, you know what, we actually need to start looking at our own sustainability as well. And this is where it starts because we want to look at how this food garden project can become a sustainable project as well for Ditshego. Because we all know that God helps those who help themselves. So we don't want to be part of, like, we don't want to be professional beggars, guys. Whereby every time we say, can we please have 5 rand? We can actually see if we can come up with 5 rand and ask for 10 rand, we can come forward and say, we also have done something. So, thank you so much, Gautrain. Titi. Thank you so much for the coordination, the communication. Everything was going smooth. Nothing was last minute as well. Everything was just, we were like, coordinating day by day, checking progress. This is all you. You have been supporting us for years. Last year we had Earth Day. It was all possible because of you. I think you can see the trees that you have planted as well. Last year, you have seen your garden is looking good. The kids from Sutherland College also refurbished the benches so that it looks great. So we can only make one promise to you, and we can assure you that we will always be good stewards of what you bring to us. We will distribute to the community everything that we have, and we wouldn't be where we are today if it wasn't for the kind of support that we get from the likes of the sponsors, Gautrain, and all the other sponsors that we have. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Even the volunteers that are here, I cannot thank you enough, because you guys come in and you don't expect a thing from us, but you come in, you are here today to assist, to be part of the day, and thank you so much. I don't know if I've left anything out. Like I said, I talk like a lot. So yeah, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much. We will now move to the tree planting and vegetable planting. Fedi at the back will guide us and lead us on the next episode of the program. And that's how we come to the formal part of the program. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you to Ditshego, the leadership, the board, CEO, thank you so much. The team from Gautrain, House Service, we are about to do another tree planting, another vegetable planting, as we roll out our time and our service in service of the nation, and particularly today, the Ditshego House of Laughter. T, thank you for making this happen. And I'm sure there's a place in heaven for you, for the kind of work you do through this program. Thank you.